Hey guys, Dave and Len here. We just played Boots on the Ground from Worthington Games. It's basically a game about modern skirmish combat in an urban area. We played the cooperative game today. Yesterday I played the one-player version. Essentially, in the scenario we played, there's 4 hostages. You had to get to them. They're in a building with some insurgents and get them out of the city to a certain green zone. The game is a lot of fun. Actually, it's very fun, but the rulebook is utterly horrific. This is one of the worst rulebooks I've ever seen in a war game in my life. Fortunately, we were able to figure out how to play the game, but for a game this simple, it should not have been. There should not have been that many questions and stuff. I had to go look up some stuff on Board Game Geek and so forth. They need to have a section first that's set up, how to set up the game. They need to have a section that's entitled Stacking, and there's a bunch of other stuff like with rules that are written under the unit capabilities, and it's just really weird. It seems to me like a first draft. It's like they hand in the first draft and they're like, okay, we'll publish it. I mean, without anyone taking a look at it and trying to see if someone could actually learn the game from it easily. I mean, you can learn the game from it, but it's unnecessary hardship they're putting on you. But the game's okay solo, but it's much better two-player cooperative. Two-player cooperative's very fun. What'd you think of it, Len?
Actually, it's a quick game to learn, since Dave was telling me all these things. So, and just following basic principles, like don't walk too close to the garbage cans.
Or you mean the vehicles?
Yeah, the vehicles. If you can avoid not walking next to it, you'll do good. And I didn't have to explain that to me.
Well, not all the vehicles have an IED in them, though.
Yeah.
Like some. So I mean, most of the time you can use the vehicles as like a cover if you want to. But if you get unlucky and you walk next to one that's got an IED, every unit that's currently next to it is going to take a wound.
Yeah, because
unless there's a demo guy there.
There's only one guy. That one I had to check. It was a 2-square street. I mean, and but otherwise I went to the side, and of course all the civilians. I luckily everyone I checked was a civilian. All the right. The only problem I have, I don't know. It's the medics seem to be. It's like. They are like the clerics in your local dungeon crawl. It's like, okay, I'm wounded, cure me, cleric, okay, take off the hit points. Because a lot of times you get guys with 2 wounds, and all you gotta do is have the medic next to you for 2 consecutive turns, and you're fit.
Yeah, you can take up 3 wounds, kill you, and this is not like a normal game where you lose 2 steps and you're dead, and this one is 3 steps. One thing I want to point out before I forget is this game actually plays like kind of like a modern zombie game where the zombies can shoot, because it's never-ending insurgents. As you draw cards, more and more insurgents enter the board and stuff. Near the end of our game, most of the insurgents were gone, but you always have new ones coming in, so in that way it's kind of like playing a modern zombie game.
Okay, yeah. It isn't that bad, so.
Yeah, it is a fun game. It's just the rule book's just terrible.
Well, we were able to play it.
Yeah, so. True. But I mean, with a rule set that's this simple, really, there should have been no trouble reading the rules or anything for it. I shouldn't have had to go on Board Game Geek to clarify more than several things, actually, and so forth.
What I'd like to see is this with two combatant sides.
Oh, you can do that. It has that capability, actually. You can play it with up to 3 players. So if you play with 3 players, 2 players will be the 2 teams of infantry, and 1 player will be the insurgents.
Okay, yeah. Because I thought that'd be an interesting, because this one, it was more like a zombie game.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think it's worth a try.
Yeah, I think if you can get it for a reasonable price, pick it up. But just be warned that the rule book's not very good. Have a good evening.